Hey, good people. Y'all, don't worry about me. I'm just your neighborhood troublemaker trying to heal us in this thing. Ladies, I'll call you back, Ray. Ladies, y'all ready for this? Miss Harden say, do what you do. Miss Turner, what it is? Gail Jones, what's up, Georgia ME? Yeah, I had to grease my scalp. I have to grease up and shit. It got the itching on me. It's hot here. Inga Harris, what it is. Hey. Everybody, you know what? I won't be long. I gotta read I got an appointment at 5 o'clock. So y'all ain't gonna have the pleasure of me talking your ear off for an hour. But let me put that over. But I want to say I got some on my chest and I want to talk about. So and I'm finna get into it. So I was thinking, right? And hear me out. I was thinking. Now, back in the day when I was growing up, we had uncles that was pimps, players, ballers, anything on a cool Negro scale you can name. We had an uncle, a cousin, a daddy. My daddy was it. Your daddy was it. I know your daddy was the man. I know your daddy was the man. He was it. He was cool. Had his Cadillac, had his Lincoln, had his Corvette, his Mercedes, however you want to look at it. Had his motorcycle, Jerry Curl, Afro, picking that bit. He was that. He knew how to work them girls. I ain't gonna curse in this not one time. I'm gonna make sure I don't curse because I don't need y'all to sit up there. Y'all gonna get mad at the message, but you ain't gonna get mad that I curse. That seemed to be the thing now. So your people. So I like that. Let me say a line of Max. There we go. So the males in your family was pure D Max. Had it going on. Ooh, wait. Sharp as a tack, crease in their pants, cut like a razor blade. Baby, I learned how to dress from Grandpa Mayo. The man wore a three-piece suit every day. Had matching socks and hat before that even got cool. He was it. That's Grandpa Mayo out there in Moultrie, Georgia. But let me tell you something. This goes for the ladies right here. I'm going to get on the men behinds tomorrow. But right now, this for the ladies. Now, if my daddy was a Mac, my uncle was a Mac, my brothers was a Mac, I got 5 brothers in the house, and all of them was a Mac. My granddaddy was a Mac. Every male energy in this thing was a Mac, a player, a pimp, a baller, a hustler, and we did our thing. I have a big question. What happened to the goddamn gone women that was the hoes? What happened to the women of old that was the street runners, that was the drug mules, that was the prostitutes? What happened to them women? Did they all disappear? See, you shadow ban me, I get to talk about what the hell I want. I ain't nice no more because I got to heal this energy, and healing this energy is ripping that band-aid off. So what happened to all them women that your daddy that was a Mac, that your brother that was a Mac, that your uncle that was a Mac? What happened to all them women they had selling coochie for them on the corner, running dope for them? What happened to them women? I'm gonna tell you what happened to them. They grew up to be your grandmama. They grew up to be your mama. They grew up to be my mama, my grandmama. You see, I can't talk about this if I ain't experienced it, right? Full transparency here. Before my grandma got in her older age and was into the spiritual, she was a stripper in Moultrie, Georgia, and in Miami. Grandma was a stripper. Granddaddy was a pimp and a dope runner for the Cubans. I know where I come from. That's how he met grandma down there, in South Florida, stripping, running, because she was in there working in that strip club with them Cubans getting it down, and she met granddaddy, and then they hooked up and linked, baby, and made this generation here all this beauty, right? But let me tell you something. As you know, the title of this video, Imaginary Trauma. Some of you women out there today, all jokes aside, some of you older women, older than me, my age or older, it affects the younger, but let's talk about my age and older because this is where I get the most kickback. Some of you women out there are angry at men that never existed. You guys are angry at men that never was in the picture, never existed, never came to the forefront, never knew they had to take care of you, never knew nothing. Y'all mad at that man. Let me tell you why. Because your mama probably was turning tricks. Your grandma probably was turning tricks for my uncle, for your daddy that was a Mac, for your kinfolk, your cousins. They probably were turning tricks, end up getting pregnant. And they can't take that baby home to the mama without a concocted story. Yeah, we was in love as she was walking that stroll. We was in love, and then he just up and left me because he didn't want to be responsible for the baby. He didn't want to take control of the baby. He didn't want to do nothing. So your mama say, come on in here, no good joker. Let the church handle it and pray for the church to take care of it. Knowing all along that you was out there selling it and end up getting in trouble. See, back in the day, there was no contraceptives. People wasn't afraid of AIDS and sexually transmitted disease. It was free love, baby. They said it all over TV. I'm just quoting what they say. Now, some of those women that was out there selling tail for my uncle, your daddy, end up getting pregnant from a John, turning a trick, and the John didn't even know that he had got you pregnant because he just came there to run a little bit and he done gave you that funky 40 and he bought his business. So now you got to carry that baby to term. So what you gonna do when you go home to your mama with a baby in your belly and unwed back in the day because marriage was on top? You gonna concoct the story. So now you done had that baby. So now you tell that baby this made up fictitious joker story that your daddy didn't want to be responsible. Your daddy left me and he didn't want to marry me. And then you done pump that stuff into your daughter. You done pump that stuff into your son. And now your daughter hating every man that come her way because I don't want a man like my daddy. I don't want a man that ain't going to take care of my baby, that ain't going to do this. You going to run away like my daddy ran away from me. Knowing that man didn't even know he had got that woman pregnant. Did I mess somebody? Did I piss you off? Did I piss you off? Let's face it. Some of the men that your mama, your grandmama told you was a piece of crap, never was around, didn't want nothing to do with you as a baby, can't find them, duck the obligation, all that stuff. Some of that was made up and fake because they got caught up in the goddamn transaction and they had to come back home when they didn't want to walk that stroll no more. They had to bring that baby back and face the consequences. So instead of them taking responsibility and telling you, hey, baby, I was out there tricking. I was out there, on the street having fun, and I got pregnant with you. I don't know who your daddy is. I don't know if he was a good guy. I don't know if he was a bad guy. But I know my part in it. I was out there doing my thing. So I can't say he was a bad person. I can't say he's a no good nigga. I can't say anything of that nature because I was doing my part. But it's easier for you guys to put the blame on an imaginary character that which is traumatizing your daughters and your son to this day. Now I'm talking about the generation above me, so I expect some controversy. Yeah, boy. I'm feeling real good. Let's talk about it. So let's take the streetwalker out the picture. God knows I love me as a streetwalker. Those that's the oldest profession in the world. They should have been got a pension for selling it on the corner. Don't be shamed around me, ladies. If you're selling it on the corner, salute, baby. Use a contraceptive. Keep the vibe going then if that's how you make your money. Salute to you. But let's take it to the church, baby. Some of y'all was sitting up there letting Deacon Devin bang you out. Some of your mamas, some of your grandmamas was sitting in the church letting Deacon Devin bang you out, banging her ass out in the back of the pew there. Altar call, baby. Some of them that end up having secret babies with men of the church. And because they respected that man of the cloth so much, they never told their mama that old Deacon Smithers is your daddy, that Pastor Wango is your biological father. So they'll let you grow up thinking that an imaginary character that's your biological father left them alone, didn't want to be responsible, was a piece of crap all day long. Am I lying? Let somebody say I'm lying. I don't care if I step on your toes. I don't care. Because y'all got to stop pumping this filth into the younger generation. Now, they say a zebra don't change its stripes, let alone a Dalmatian can't name how many dots on his butt. Oh, now they finna cut my feed. Good Lord. Women go out there and have these one night stands. They go out there and they get flowed out. Nigga offer them an extra $2,000 to fill it raw. Let me slip the condom off, baby. Let me fill it raw. I got a vasectomy. I can't get you pregnant. Come back. They done tricked dog. Got a baby. Now you telling the world, oh, yo no good daddy. I can't find him. He got me pregnant. He told me his name was Peanut. That's all I knew of him. Knowing you had went and did what you did in the heat of passion, in the pursuit of a little coin, and now you done came back and you done traumatized your daughter and your son telling them they daddy wasn't nothing. No, I'm just playing, right? I'm coming down too hard on these women. Let me stop you right there. Because my family went through it. I like to be transparent. Okay? So I'm finna go into my traumatic experience. See what counseling do to a brother that's healed? I couldn't talk about this type of stuff. I'm healed, but I'm not stable. Don't get it twisted. Oh, yeah, thank you. Hit that like button. Talk slower so they don't cut the live. I love it. So, listen here. My mama with my dad, loving the death, my daddy. My mama had already had 3 children when my daddy came to the house. She knew their fathers. My daddy came to the house. Yeah, I take on all these kids. I'm a good guy. I'll take on all these children. They my children from here on out. My brothers and sisters have nothing but nice things to tell me about my daddy before I was born and how he treated them. So one day my mama decided, before I was born, one day my mama decided to mess with a dude by the name of Kenny. I ain't gonna say his last name. He's dead now. My mama decided to fool around on my daddy while he was at work with a dude named Kenny. My dad happened to come home early. I'm like 1 year old. I'm still on my mama tip. Dad come home early. The dude named Kenny bucks out the back door, jumping the fence. When he walks in the door, my sister, the one over above me, she was a baby. She's 2 years older than me. So my sister about 2, 3 years old at the time. She say, "Hey, Mister Kenny just left out the back door." So my dad tell me the story. He went and looked down the curtain. He saw Kenny hitting the back fence, jumping the fence, jumping the fence. So he goes in there. He packs his clothes up. He say, "Okay, I can't stay here no more. I'm gone. I'm not a fighter. I'm not gonna hit you. I'm not gonna stress you. I'm finna leave." So he pays the apartment he had rented for my mom and them kids. He pays it up for the next 6 months. He goes to the grocery store, take his pickup truck, and he put about 2 months worth of meat and food and everything in the house. And he moves out and he go live with my grandma, who's deceased at this moment, his mama. He lives on her floor in her hallway. It takes him to tell you. He didn't argue at my mama. He didn't curse my mama. He didn't do nothing. Now hear me, I'm born. My daddy just left my mama because she cheated on him, right? My sister busted my mama for cheating on my daddy. She was a baby. She didn't know no better. My mama grew up not liking me. Treated me like shit. This is why I'm in counseling. Treated me like crap. She treated my sister like crap. My grandmama had to step in and take me and my sister because my mama didn't like me and her. I grew up hearing my mama tell me my daddy wasn't nothing. He abandoned her. He left her. He never wanted me in the first place. It would take my aunties and uncles to tell me how great my daddy was until I turned 13 and got to meet the man. Why am I telling y'all this? Why am I sharing this trauma? You see how much damage you women do to men or to your children when you just can't tell the truth, baby. I was out there effing off and that man couldn't take my junk. Got me at 46 years old in counseling, trying to get over why she didn't love me. It ain't because I was a bad kid. It's because she hated the fact that she screwed up. She put that on me because I was the closest thing to him. That's what some of y'all doing. So why you think I call this thing right here imaginary trauma? You guys are traumatizing them kids due to the simple fact you messed up. None of y'all want to tell the truth that you was the problem. Oh, I'm unpopular with this one. I get it. But let's call a spade a spade. Some of these daddies don't even know that you guys are their children because your mama never told, and she have to sit on that lie, the fact, and make you believe that that person was a bad guy. So let's say that she never told you that that she did what she did, and she done put it in your life to hate the man and every characteristic of that man. So then she says you 3, 4, 5 years old. She see him in the same town. She found out his address. She put him on child support. That man don't know that's his baby. She never brought it to his attention because it was a trick. It was a fun time. It was a one night stand. So you don't expect that man to be mad that you just disrupted his life due to no fault of his, and now he got to go down there and face the child support people. And they telling him you're a deadbeat dad, you ain't this, you ain't that. That man got a whole family he taking care of. Now you insulting him. Now you're giving him imaginary trauma. Now he down himself. His wife is mad at him. His family mad at him. Why you didn't tell me you had her? I didn't know. You knew. Only thing I'm saying, a lot of you women are carrying, modern women, let's drop down 46 and down now. A lot of you women are carrying imaginary trauma from imaginary characters that your mama, your grandmama put in your life, and you're holding men to this imaginary standard. And this is why you can't find it in your heart to forgive a man, to love a man, or either respect a man. Oh, don't worry, Ian. I'm gonna hand your ass to you tomorrow too. I'm a man, so I can really cut up there. This is why a lot of you women today, modern day women, can't find it in your heart to be with the one that God put in your life for you, and you're forever searching because you have this imaginary image of this horrible individual. And it don't do no good to have your mama reinforce it, your grandma reinforce it all over your whole dang on life. It don't do no good to have that energy permeate through your bones and your blood and your mind. So when you do meet somebody, you automatically think they're gonna do me like my daddy did. Yeah, man, they made up character because your mama was out there selling it in the 70s, in the 80s. Somebody had to walk that stroll. I didn't think everybody used condoms. Am I making sense, y'all? Let me see. Am I making sense? No, I'm not done yet. Now, let's talk about the days of old. Let's go back to these old women. We up on the higher tier now. We up to the people that actually walked that stroll, that bent that corner, that was dealing with them Johns. We up there now. Why won't some of y'all older women confess and come clean to help heal the pain and suffering you cause on your child? Your baby girl is an adult now. Your baby boy is an adult now. We in our 40s, we in our 50s, we in our 30s, we over the age of 18. We know better. We can rationalize, we can understand your plight, your situation, because we don't watch enough TV. We done heard enough preaching from the pulpit. We done heard enough Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Why can't y'all come clean right now to help us alleviate our burdens and our pain? Because no matter the amount of therapy I'm getting, I'm still gonna see my dad as he could have possibly been that way. And everybody have told me he was a great guy, even from his own mouth. Some reason I'm hardwired to love my mama, even though she treated me like nothing. Why can't some of y'all older women sit down right now and say, baby, you know what? All the bad stuff I said about the man that was supposed to be your daddy, that ran away, that went across town to get a pack of cigarettes and never came back. We done heard that story. Get a carton of milk and some egg and never came back. Baby, I made it up. I was out there doing some really bad stuff, and you was a result of that, and I was ashamed. I want you to forgive me, and let's heal from this. Do you know what you guys can do for your child, a person like me, a woman my age that's struggling with relationships, loving somebody? Do you know what y'all can do to them? You guys can lift such a burden and allow them to think for themselves, allow them to find the love in relationships and the connection that the universe got for them if you just come clean and say you messed up, ask for an apology. But you're too headstrong and you're going to take that to your dying bed and you're going to have that person hating that imaginary person that you created in your head to hide the fact that you was out there doing some tomfoolery. I ain't cursing here too much. I think I let one curse word slip. So ban this one because you're mad at that I'm calling you out. Don't ban it because of the curse words. I got an email about that. Am I saying something wrong? Am I making things up? Let me guess, I'm too hard on those women, right? I'm too hard on those women that has crippled a generation, that has crippled two, three generations. Yeah, I'm talking to you, grandma. I'm talking to you, grandma. I can't find my wife. Pay attention to what I'm saying. I can't find my wife because she too shrouded into your imaginary trauma. She can't trust me to be a man, a leader, because she too busy looking at every negative quality that I could possibly bring to her life. Apologize to that woman. Apologize to your son. Your son can't find it in his heart to even begin to trust the woman. Because you done told him how bad his daddy was and how he gonna be just like his daddy, and you done imprinted that imaginary energy onto that boy, and now he's trying everything not to be like his daddy, running into the wrong woman because he want to make you proud. You see the destruction now? But I become the bad guy for saying it because I don't have any sympathy. And the reason why I don't have any sympathy for this right here, because I'm sitting on a therapist's couch right now, working through it. It took my family to tell me how great my daddy was. It took my grandmama to make me believe my daddy a good man. I didn't get to see him till I was 13. She hated him for what she did. And some of y'all are abusing your children, and this is what child abuse need to step in. This is where the court system need to step in. But they back y'all, and they back this narrative for y'all. And it made y'all reassure and double down on this negative energy. Some of y'all hating yourselves when you look in the mirror because you're a product of that woman and you don't know what the heck going on, why you hate yourself. Some of y'all fighting these ancestral demons because yes, your mama did sell it. Yes, they was out there getting it down. Yes, they went to them parties. They took them papa, them whippets and every other thing. Yes, they made mistakes and they don't want to fess up to them. They rather perpetuate a lie. Have you hating yourself, hating the world, hating men, leaving you exposed to the element. I don't need a man for nothing. Sure you do. It's going to come a time when you do. But if you can't break that pain, that trauma of that imaginary shell image you putting around that man, you ain't going to have a good life with any man. I don't care how much you give your life to Jesus. I don't care how much you work from the first house to the 12th house, aligning your chakras and doing shadow work. Because anytime you look at the man, the object of your affection, you're going to hear this made up story that your mama placed on your mind. Now, I say that to say this. There is some dads out there that wasn't nothing. There is some dads that knew they was your daddy and chose not to deal. That right there, that's a bad thing. That's where your mama need to walk you to that person and say, you see your daughter, you see your son, you're going to miss out on everything that's good going to come from it. You're a piece of crap. And that's when you throw the child support book at him. But some of these children have these imaginary images that you created to hide the fact that you was out there doing something wrong, that you was out there playing around, that you was careless. And because you had to go back to your mama and your daddy with a baby in your stomach, you sat up there and you said he was no good. You painted the picture, knowing that man didn't know nothing about it. Now y'all see why I'm on Patreon? Y'all gonna have to pay for this. Y'all gonna hate me. Y'all gonna have to pay to hate me. Because I'm not holding back. 15 minutes? Oh, no. Okay, yeah, 15 minutes. People, I'm just telling you what it is. I can't get up here and talk about this if I didn't experience it. I can't get up here and speak about it if I didn't go through it, if I didn't sit under, if I didn't hear it. I heard my auntie tell my cousin how his daddy was nothing. His daddy was 18, 19 when he got her pregnant. It was after prom. 3 months later, the man go to the military. Sound familiar? The man go to the military. He over there fighting in World War I, World War II, or some kind of conflict back in them days when they was young, about 40, 50 years ago. I heard every day, your daddy didn't want you. Your daddy didn't love you. He chose to go to the military and not deal with you. He ran away from his responsibility. Y'all hooked up on your high school prom night. They shipped that man off 2 months later. That man didn't know you were pregnant. You didn't know where he was to write to him. He go in there and he stay in there for 6, 7 years. He come home. He got a whole baby. Now that baby don't even want to entertain that man because you done sold a story. You done gave that a made up fictitious energy about that man. All because you can take that you gave it up on your prom night and got pregnant. That man didn't know that was his baby. But you wanted to save face, be so holier than thou. You sold a story for 6, 7 years, and now that baby can't form a link with that man to save their life. Knowing that every girl need a daddy. And if it's a daddy willing to step up, she got to hate that man. And that man can't argue with his daughter, your mama a lie. Because guess what? That's all I got is mama. I can't tell you your mama a lie. Only thing I can do is, baby, well, get to know me for yourself. And that's too long. Women, you guys can do this. Women, you guys can go to your daughters in our older age before y'all kick the bucket and kill over. You guys can go to them and say, hey, you know what? I lied. I lied. Your daddy wanted you. Your daddy probably would have been there for you. But I just couldn't, face the fact that I did something wrong and I was fast in the ass. And I'm sorry I did you a disservice. You could break down so many challenges your daughter and your son is facing right now. Women, if you just confess. Admit it, we old enough. Yeah, we gonna be mad at you. We gonna hate you. There's people that's been adopted by their sister and their auntie. There's people that's been adopted by uncles and brothers. The uncle and brother raised me. You grow up, all only thing I had was my granddaddy. He treated me like a princess. You know why he treated you like a princess? Because he was a real man and he stepped up to the plate, knowing that the man that the same story you told him, the same story you're telling your daughters and your son about how they ain't got no good daddy, how he ran away, didn't want the responsibility. He had to step up to the plate because the baby here. Let me do what I got to do. So old Pep and Pop had to step up. So no wonder he treated you good because he was being a man. And thank God for grandparents, by the way. Thank God. I thank God for my grandmama every day. I thank God for my granddaddy every day. Because without them, I probably would have been a hood, orphan people, tough in the street. He treated you good because he became the surrogate father. Because he knew what his daughter was up to. He knew his daughter was out there, and that man knew, but he can't go against his wife. He can't tell his daughter, you messed up, tell that baby, because that'll create friction and harm and disharmony in the house. So he had to sit up there and say, well, I'll do my best to make sure this baby got love and raised and cherished. This is why some of you women, when y'all talking and entertaining each other and telling your horror stories or your trauma, your imaginary trauma to some, your heart back to your granddaddy, to your daddy, and to your granddaddy. My granddaddy treated me, my daddy wasn't in my life, but my granddaddy treated me good. Because he understood what your mama had done, and he just stepped up to the plate because that baby's here. See, I can't believe in my mind that a man won't step up to the plate for his baby unless he's a real piece of work. And then I think he need to be castrated and thrown off a bridge. That's just me personally. But some of y'all need to come clean before you go to your grave, older women. Some of y'all need to get in that tub, take your spiritual bath, go to your local church and pray to Jesus or Allah, Buddha. Some of y'all need to go over there and stop hiding behind the cloak of the ministry, the cloak of your spirituality, the cloak of, okay, they grown now, it ain't gonna make a difference. Some of y'all need to do your kids a service and tell them, I lied. I pump you full of this bitter, toxic energy, stopping you from growing as a woman, as a man, stop you from finding the person that God, source, spirit has set in your life, because you're looking at everybody through my toxic eyes, through this made up traumatic entity that I created, that I have placed on you. That sounded like a Negro preacher, Southern Baptist Negro preacher. I ain't got nothing to wipe my mouth. Okay, let me wipe my mouth. Yeah, I'm sounding like a nigga. Woo! Lord, speak through me. Some of you have cursed your children with a lie to protect your own selfish feelings. Y'all know that man wasn't there. Y'all know y'all got that baby from tricking. Y'all know y'all ran away from the baby. Y'all had to go back home to mama. And before I let you go, because I got 5 minutes, I'm finna tell you this right here. Now, y'all know I love black folks. I couldn't imagine being anything but blacker the berry, sweeter the juice, right? But let me tell you the difference between a black person family versus a white person or family. If I step on your toes, get off the channel. I'm shadow banned anyway, so ain't nobody gonna see this. Listen, the difference between that, when that white woman got pregnant from turning tricks, having fun at them parties, doing all the dumb stuff that they did equally as much as us, even not more, because them boys were getting on that powder. They were mountain climbing. They were going on backpack journeys for months and years at a time. Free love, baby. Ooh, woo. No condoms at all. Skin to skin, clapping and backing. You know what the difference was when they got home with that baby in the stomach? You know what they said to that, you know what they tell their children? Your daddy died on a mountain climbing accident. Your daddy was an airplane pilot and he went down in the Gulf. Your daddy was a 4-star general in the military. He was special forces. He was a ghost for recon. They sell the story to that white boy and that white girl, the fact that they daddies and mamas was heroes. So when they grow up, they ain't hide behind trauma and pain because the white man left the family or the girl was out there hooking and hoeing. They looking at the fact, I'm going to aspire to be what my imaginary dad was. I'm going to aspire to be what my, my father that was a helicopter pilot in the military. He was a mountain climber. He died on Mount Everest. His body is still up there. They can't bring him down. He sacrificed himself. He's a multimillionaire. He's a prince of Arabia. Your daddy is a prince. He just left because we couldn't be together, and I always love him. That's the narrative that's being told. What, you don't think them white girls was out there banging off, getting babies, bringing babies home? Well, we know the story of how, when they went out there and messed around with some colored people and they came back and that baby had some melatonin. We know the story they spent there. Your mama was touched on with the hard R, So, but you're my grandbaby, I gotta love you. And they demonized the black man. I'm just speaking the truth. So, older black women, why can't you sell a story like that? Why can't you give your child something to aspire to, besides traumatizing them and cloaking them in a sense of an imaginary story that's going to trigger them for the rest of their life? The white folks done said it, that your daddy was a hero. He was a military man. Man probably was a beach bum with a surfboard eating hot dogs out the trash can in California. But they in their mind, he was a hero and giving that kid something to aspire to. Give that girl who daddy was never there. She don't hate white men because her daddy abandoned her and he was no good because her mama was tricking. She loves her white man and she's going to look for a doctor, a lawyer, anything her mama said that man was. because she's looking to reconnect with the energy of her father, right? It's the story you tell your kids. And some of us have gotten our kids in such a bad way, they can only see the toxic cloak that's on us. Some of these women that can't find their man always asking spirit, when my man coming? Why a man don't like me, respect me? Some of that energy is because y'all older women lied about your circumstances, situation, and put that trauma on that baby. Now she done grew up covered in your lie. Confess before you go to your deathbed. Get that trauma up off that lady so she can find love, happiness, so she can find peace of mind, so she can look at her son without disdain and disgust because you just like your daddy. How you know? How you know he just like his daddy? You didn't know his daddy. Whew. I done stepped on some toes. Goddamn. Hit me good, ladies. I'm finna get off. I know y'all don't like me. Y'all tired of me. I get it. But I can say what I want to say, and I'm not apologetic. Mr. Petty Bones is petty. I'm petty, and my Baron petty too. Older women, come clean. You're doing your kids a disservice. You're doing your daughters a disservice. Some of these 46-year-old women, 50-year-old women, 60-year-old women carrying around your lie, carrying around your pain, carrying around your imaginary trauma that you placed and cloaked these kids with all of their life, and they can't see the good in a man that knock on their door and they trying to court them. They can't see the good in us men no more because you all have made these imaginary stories up. And they gotta respect their mama because that's all they had. Good, bad, or indifferent. Come clean before you kick the bucket and say, I messed up. No, I didn't know who your daddy was. I was out there tricking and hooking. I was out there partying, baby, loving life. I lived. And you just happened to come. And I'm sorry I did you like that. I'm sorry I put that energy out there. You're going to die real clean. You're going to feel real good to get rid, to unpack that lie you've been pimping all this time. You ain't got to go to the church and confess it to the town hall. Just tell your daughter you made a mistake. You thought you was protecting her. I get it. I made a mistake and I carried it too far. Let's start telling our children good things about their mothers and their fathers, black folks. I raised 5 kids by myself 24 years. Ask and one of them did I talk nasty about their mama, even though those women abandoned those babies on me. Not one time. Everybody that was in my life, man, you should tell them kids the truth that they mama wanted to party, hook, and hope. Nope, nope, nope. They don't need to know that. They'll find out that if God want them to when they get older. As they got older, I would tell my kids, your mama said, work hard, get a good job, get a good career, build your business up so you can get her into rehab. Get a good job so you can sit up there and put your mama on your insurance plan and you can take custody of your mama if anything go wrong with her health, and you can make sure she get the help she need. I told my son in the military, I say, you know you can make your mother your dependent if something happen and you could get a little extra money and you can help her out. I say, this is what I want you to do. Why my mama ain't come see me for Christmas? Why my mama won't come knock on the door? Why my mama don't love me? She's sick right now. She just going through something. She got her own trauma. She got to work through it. Never a bad word was muttered to any of my kids about their mother, and their mother was literally 3 blocks down the road. Didn't want to have nothing to do with them. So you want to talk about trauma? I get it. I lived it. I got pain, baby. This is why I'm on that couch with that therapist every 2 weeks. I'm transparent. Y'all need to know what you're doing to your sons. You need to know what this lie is doing to your daughters. You're creating a race of men and women that's afraid to love, that's afraid to interact, that don't want the pain and suffering, don't want to live your fictitious made up experience. Older women, break that. Come clean. Your daughter don't deserve that. If you really love your kid, you'll come clean. We old enough to understand circumstances, situations. We old enough. Have some respect for us to say what's on your mind. This is something I wish I could tell my mama, but she not here. Do the right thing, older women. Alleviate this toxic cloak that you done put on your kids over this imaginary, no good Negro. I'm gone.